Hey, yo, I be dating myself every time I listen to Neo Soul. Listen, I'm not knocking y'all because y'all know I work with a lot of the youngest in this industry. But I need to hear what you're saying and I need to understand and be able to articulate what you're saying. So I'm going to stick with my old school Neo Soul. I'm going to stick with my Bone Thugs and Harmony, my Snoop, my Dre. You know what I'm saying? Because what y'all be talking about, I done got too old. I don't have them mega knees no more. These knees don't work like that no more. So I need somewhere I can just ain't nothing but a G thing and regulate it out. But anyway, guys, it's your girl Lily Mae, and it's consulting time. And you already know we're gonna have fun tonight. I'm always bringing you creatives, innovators, and leaders, and two individuals that are coming forth tonight are awesome. Okay. The first individual, I was fortunate to actually meet him on screen before meeting him in person. And it's so interesting because the way he played his character, by the time we finished watching the premiere, I was just like, I don't want to talk to him. And that's when you know you got a darn good actor when you don't even want to have a conversation with them because of the part that they play in a film. And then at the quarter of the hour, we definitely will be pulling out a business mogul. And honey, I'm just gonna, you know what, I'm gonna wait on it. I'm gonna wait on it because baby, fabulous, fly, and completely melanated. And I love every minute of it. But let's dive right in. Ladies, if y'all love a bearded man, you better get ready. Because I am bringing to the platform tonight Mr. Dewan Ford.
What's up? What's going on?
What it do?
Oh man, having a good time. I really appreciate you having me on here. Honestly.
Absolutely. Executive producer, actor, super duper dope dude. Tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and why you do what you do.
All right. Well, my name is Dewan Ford. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, born and raised. I kind of got bit by the independent film bug about 6 or 7 years ago. I was just really it was a hobby. I was just playing around. I got some extra work in, and I looked up, and I just fell in love with the whole process, and and that's how we ended up here.
All right. So I gotta go back because seeing you in First Lady 3, that was my first time becoming familiar with you.
Uh huh.
And now I ain't gonna lie to you, when you first came in the building, I was like, okay, he's coming to see the film.
Uh
You
huh.
were just chill, you walked in, stepped on the red carpet. When you popped up on that screen, I said,
Detective Bracy.
I was like,
Yep.
so talk to us a little bit about, we're going to get into being an executive producer,
Hmm.
but there are a lot of individuals walking who love this film thing. They want to act, or
Hmm.
they're artists, so they want to perform.
Yep.
Talk to us about what you have to do to prepare for a character.
So pretty much for me, Dennis Reed, who was the writer and director and executive producer, one of the executive producers of First Lady 3, he actually gave me my first opportunity. And I laugh all the time because now I kind of get typecasted. I'm always playing these cop roles all the time because it was like, I pretty much killed the role. So it's like now everybody look at me as a cop. I'm like, that's like the furthest thing. Like, I know how to be a lot of different people, but like being a cop was like, I'm like, man, this is really tough. But anyway, so when I initially got the script, I was like, man, this is going to be tough, simply because I never knew how to play a cop. It's just like, growing up, in my neighborhood, like we didn't like cops,
Honey,
so
Detroit though.
right.
Detroit though.
You,
Okay.
you see what I'm saying? So, for me, it really just took a lot of studying. So I don't like this. I don't like to necessarily study other people, but I just kind of studied, like real cops, and how they operate, and things like that. YouTube was my best friend. Like I YouTube everything because for me, I wanted to really get a good feel for a cop. And one thing about myself, whatever task that I'm handed, I'm gonna kill it. Whatever it is in life, like I'm gonna make sure I give it my all. So initially I wasn't really too fond of being a cop, but me being who I am, I'm really versatile. I can play a lot of different roles and see like a lot of the actors, they certain roles. So for me it was a huge challenge, and I owned up to it, and I feel
You
like I did
rose.
did a great job.
You rose, honey. What that song say? He rose from the dead. You rose
He
to
said
the
he
challenge. I
rose.
mean, oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's like I said, and it was definitely it was a huge challenge, doing that, just
Yeah.
coming from where I came from and playing that role. But it's like I said, I took on the challenge, and I really appreciate, Dennis Reed for giving me that opportunity because that was really kind of like my way of getting my foot in the door. and I loved it. You know, I enjoyed every moment of it.
Shout out to Dennis. Dennis is super dope. I was fortunate to be able to really sit with him, talk to him on multiple occasions, and he is nothing but the truth. Like, he is hilarious.
Yep. Oh
Now,
yeah.
you hold the title also of executive producer. What does that role look like? Because you see it all the time.
Hmm.
So what does an executive producer look like?
So pretty much the executive producer is like the boss of the whole project. You know, we the ones that call the shots pretty much. We cut the checks and and put people in position to create a dope project. So initially, what really motivated me to become an executive producer, when I initially got into the game, I had secured a role, with a company, and I put it out there, Moolah Films. That's family, all day. So anyway, I had, I got a role with Moolah Films. We had a table read, and I got cut. And the next day they called me. They was like, I think we're gonna go in a different direction. And I'm like, hold on, like I'm me. Like you don't cut me. Like no, you know what I'm saying? Like I really had a hard time with that. So I sat back, and I kind of looked at the silver lining in it. And I was like, I see it. Like I'm meant to do bigger things in this industry. So I started doing my own projects. So that way I have control over what's going on. And I even to this day, I laugh and I joke, with them, but they really motivated me to become, the person I am today. Because
Won't it do something to you? Won't
yeah,
it do something to you when you know and see? But you know what, guys, it's consulting time, and we really about to give you some jewels right now. What he
yes,
just
yes,
said speaks volumes. When you know who you are,
yeah,
when you know whose you are, and when you know what you are,
yeah,
rejection does not hinder you.
yeah, yeah,
It actually honors you
exactly,
because it puts you in a position to snatch everything that they thought they took from you. So
exactly,
tonight, if you're listening, please understand you are not in trouble.
yeah,
You are on your way to triumph,
yeah.
and that's what it's about.
It,
That's what it's about.
exactly, because I ain't gonna lie, it hurt, because this, throughout my whole life, like I've never been cut from a basketball team, football team, or anything. But
I was
it's
gonna
like,
ask you that too. You look like
yeah,
you play ball.
oh yeah, like I never had that issue, So for me, I had a moment. I'm like, even though acting for me was a hobby, still, getting cut, somebody calling you telling you, I don't think they ain't tell me I wasn't good enough, but in so many words, I was like, hold on, and then I realized I really had
You're
a
not
greater
the best
purpose.
fit. You know that's the word that corporate America like to
Yep,
use. You're not the best
exactly.
fit.
Exactly. So that's why I decided, I said, hey, okay, it's cool. I'm gonna take my own resources, my own money, and I'm gonna do my own thing.
So, Dewan, what can we find you doing when you're not acting, when you're not being the boss man? What else can we find you doing?
Well, my number one job and one thing that I really take pride in is being a father. I have
All
I have
right,
three
now.
kids. I got Dewan Jr., Mila, and Liam, and it's like when we when they came to this world, they really changed my life. And I joke with people, but I'm serious at the same time. Like my life revolves around my kids, so my schedule is based on their schedule. And I'm talking school, Dewan Jr., he plays football, basketball. So I tell people all the time, they say, hey, can you do this, that, and the third? I said, hold on, let me check and make sure Wani doesn't have, basketball practice
That's
or a
it.
tournament or whatever. So I really put my kids first, and I work around my kids' schedule. So I take my kids to school every day. I pick them up. I take my son to practice every day. I'm there. I'm a very
Yeah.
hands-on father. Because my dad, he was great, but he wasn't as hands-on as I am with my kids. So my goal was to become a better father than my father was. So I schedule and I do everything around my kids. So if you're not seeing me, doing movies, I'm being a father. That's really what
I
I
know
do.
that.
You
Fresh
know,
out. That's what I'm talking about.
yeah, exactly. And that's what I take pride in.
Absolutely. All right. So as we shift, let everybody know first and foremost where they can find you on social media, and then we'll kind of shift into some other things before we close out.
Okay, well, you can find me. I like to keep it simple. I took a lot of marketing classes, so I kind of studied it. So everything is just Dewan Ford. It's DeJuanFord. I got Instagram, I got Facebook. I'm trying to get that Dewan Ford handle on Twitter because Twitter is really where it's at. And I haven't been on Twitter like this whole time, but Twitter is really where it's at. If you want to promote and interact with different
Yes.
people, it's a whole different world on Twitter. Like I type in Tina and Lori, Tubi. I see all these people tweeting about my movie, about me. I'm like, oh my God, let me get some of this action. So
That's it.
yeah.
You are right. You are right.
Yeah, Twitter is a whole different world.
Yeah,
And
and
I've
look,
never been a part of
and
it.
let me tell you, nah, you know who get it in on Twitter?
Who's that?
Our political officials get it in
Oh
on
yeah, oh
Twitter.
yeah, oh
They
yeah,
want us to think
yeah,
it's their
yeah,
correspondence.
yeah,
Nah, we know it's y'all.
yeah.
They get it in.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yeah. They for
People,
sure. The
look, they
Twitter,
got all this mean beef and stuff.
yeah,
Nah, the
yeah,
real beef is on Twitter, and it's so
yeah,
intellectually subliminal that I
yeah.
love it. You
Yep.
will only understand what's going on if you are intellect. I'm
Right.
trying to tell you, and I love
Exactly.
every minute. I sit there
Yep.
like,
Yeah. Twitter
so that's
is.
how you really cuss somebody out without
Yeah.
cussing.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Seriously. Like, and I really just got hip to Twitter probably about 4 or 5 months ago. I start researching and things like that, and Twitter has an abundance of information and all type of stuff on there.
Indeed. So, Mr. Ford, what can we expect from you in 2022?
So I'm working on a huge project. So actually, after I met you at the First Lady 3 premiere, I met a writer from Atlanta. His name is Xavier Miles, and when I tell you he's a diamond in the rough, like he wrote a script, and this script is gonna kill everything. Like I'm so excited about this project. Xavier really did a great job. I really don't want to talk too much about it, but when I tell you this guy, he's really what I've been looking for. Because I really been trying to find a writer, and this guy, he's dangerous with that pen. When I tell you he's dangerous, everybody's gonna really love this next flick. It's called Fly By Night. We're going to start filming in March. I'm looking to drop it, probably May or June. But I guarantee you, everybody's gonna love this flick for sure.
Wow, wow, wow. So, guys, you heard it. You heard it straight from the horse's mouth. Y'all go out there, check out Mr. Dewan Ford and tap into his projects. Tap into his projects. I was fortunate to see First Lady 3, but he's known for McGraw Avenue, Indictment, Tina and Lori. Check out Tina and Lori,
Yeah.
Paper Heart, Diamond Girls. But even if you're a writer, you heard that. If you're a writer and you feel like you coming with that fire, tap in,
Tap in.
Dewan Ford.
Tap in, and that's one thing that I kind of stand on. I mentioned my situation when I got cut. I really want to provide writers, actors with the opportunity. I would really want to give people the opportunity to make it. Because it's there. Like this independent film industry is taking off. And I mentioned Twitter earlier.
Yes.
Everybody on Twitter is talking about Detroit and Tubi and this and
Yes,
that and
that's what
hood
I'm
movies.
saying.
Yeah, like it's
If
taking
anybody
off.
would have told me that in the 2020s that we would be in our house creating movie theater experiences and getting like inflatables and watching Netflix and all of those things on the blow up screens, I would have never believed it. But guess what? It's bringing the family back to the entertainment, and we just gotta hone that.
Yep.
Yes.
Exactly.
Listen, guys, it's been real with Mr. Ford. This is not your last time here. You're gonna have to come back so that we can really talk about what's going on. When you make your way back to ATL, let me know. I'll definitely be out y'all way. Shout out to Homestead. Shout out to Dewan Ford, baby, and everything he got going on. We are super duper excited to have you, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Oh yeah, no, I really appreciate it, and I'll definitely be back.
All right. See you later.
All right, nah. Yep.
Yo, Dewan Ford is super duper dope. You guys make sure you tap in. Definitely, definitely, definitely. I will get you in connection with him, Miss Tina. I see you out there. But now, the lady of the hour, we had our gentleman to come out and he did the daggone thing. And now for the lady of the hour. Guys, we all need a break, right? We need a break. We need some massages, some facials. Y'all know I can do some strip lashes. I ain't got time to sit there and let you put all them individuals on me, honey. I do not have time. But Miss Candace, Holyfield Parker gonna come out here and talk to you a little bit about it. 6-figure spa chick, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, beautiful.
How are you?
Good, good, good.
All right. Listen, first and foremost, how and why? How and why? And I'm gonna leave it like that and let you go with it.
So I first want to say thank you so much for the opportunity sharing your platform. So I want to say thank you. I would say how I was working at a restaurant for over 13 years, and they basically were trying to get rid of me, but they couldn't just fire me, so they couldn't get rid of me. So they took me out of my section at the restaurant, and this is 13 years ago, by the way, but I went from making like $100 a day to like $30 a day. And I was like, I can't take care of my kids, on $30 a day. And at first they told me they were just trying something out. And so I'm thinking it's going to be like a small time frame because I have been working at the restaurant, for over 10 years. And so they never gave me my section back. So I was like, oh my gosh, I got to go either get a new job, start over. And I'm like, ain't nobody going to put up with me. I do not want to get a new job. It's just too hard to get a new job. So I went to the career college behind the restaurant and I signed up for the massage therapy program. And as soon as I got my massage table, you probably get your table like 2 or 3 months into school. And so when I got my table, I just hit the ground running. I was doing baby showers, housewarmings, anywhere somebody would let me come set up and do some massages, because you can't charge for massage while you're in school. If you don't have a massage license, it is against the law to massage. So I was doing all these events for free, but people was tipping me. And so that's how I was making money. And that's how it all got started. That's the how. And we ain't got to the why yet, huh? That's the why. That's the wow. How okay. That's the why. Okay. How I made it all happen. When I got on Instagram, this probably was back in 2014, maybe 2013. I got on Instagram and my whole life changed. I'm from a small town, Memphis, Tennessee, and I was on Facebook. But my friend, she was like, you got to get on Instagram. So I got on Instagram maybe like 2013, and my whole life changed. It opened me up to see, because when you're on Facebook, you're seeing your friends and, people you went to school with. So when I got on Instagram, I started seeing all these girls like getting money, like real money. And my whole life just changed. I was like, I got to get to Atlanta. I got to go to New York. And I just started doing massages at All-Star Game, Super Bowl, Essence Fest. I just went crazy. And that's what helped me to, and of course I did Groupon. That's one of my claims to fame is Groupon. So between Groupon and then getting on Instagram and taking my business nationwide instead of just in Memphis, that's how I became the 6-figure spa chick. And then I became the 7-figure spa chick when I when I moved to Atlanta, and all my clients was like crazy rich. They had money. They wasn't doing any physical labor. And another light bulb went off. I said, I don't know something. I said, it's something I don't know. And I was like, I gotta learn how to make money without physically working. And that's when I started my brand, 6-figure spa chick. And that's what put me over in the 7-figure mark. That's a short story.
And you know something, when you do things with intentionality, it always aligns. Now, Mr. Ford spoke about being intentional and being a hustler in a positive light because he got cut from something.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing for you. You got eased out of a situation.
Yeah.
And the bounce back was so crazy
that
it blew your own mind.
Yes. When I was just listening to him, I was like, wow, like this, and that's why I'm so thankful for those of you who have these platforms. We get to hear stories and meet so many people, and it keep us inspired and keep us going. So I was listening full speed. I'm like, let me get my computer together, let me make sure my screen right. But I'm just grateful for these type of platforms who get to hear stories and meet people and let us know that, you know, it can be done. So I just you know, thank you, and that his spark was amazing as well.
No, thank you. Now, you believe in education and empowerment and uplift, right?
Right.
Do you find, though, that even in everything that you're doing to educate, empower, and uplift, you still have that percentage of individuals who truly cannot get with the program and embrace what you're giving? Because you're giving a lot more than you're receiving. Right. And you ain't even got to tell me that. I just know that just because I know the business that we're in.
Right.
So, you know, how do you handle those obstacles?
And you know what? That's a really good question. So I believe in education, but I believe a lot in community as well. So right now in my community today, we're doing a 24-hour water fast. Because all these different energies are coming in. It's the new year. You know, when the new year comes, people ready to attach themselves to somebody or something. And already on day 11, I just felt this energy, and I said, hey, I got to release this energy up off of me and off my community. So anytime, I was just doing an IG live last night when I got back from Cabo, and I said, when I'm feeling myself being overwhelmed, or if I feel anxiety, or if I feel the weird energy, I immediately go into fasting, and I ask to release those things from me. But I also understand too, because I'm a human being, everybody's not going to align with my vision. Everybody's not going to understand it. They're not, because people got their own vision and their own road they want to travel. So when those things happen, I just ask the people to remove themselves, because we don't align. And I keep going with the people who I'm aligned with, and I'm aligned. They're aligned with me, and I'm aligned with them. It's just part of the game.
You know, Candace, it's so interesting. Once again, everything, when you do things with intent, with the right intent, it works out. So I saw this, I hate to call it a meme because it really was philosophical, but it was someone's practical situation. And it said, I never thought that the person I left 12 years ago, or the person that I left 12 years ago would 4 years later become my husband. And I thought about that thing.
Wow.
And I just kept thinking about that thing, because everything in life is not a period.
Right.
Sometimes it's a comma or a semicolon. See, we only know about commas and periods. Don't nobody want to talk about them semicolons, honey.
Right. It's a pit
so,
stop.
You know, the but. Sometimes you don't need no comma with that but or that however is. You need that semicolon.
Exactly. Timing and positioning.
I'm just hearing what I'm hearing from Dewan and from you. I'm just hearing that to everything.
Yes.
There is a season.
Yes, definitely. I agree.
To everything.
And really quick to piggyback off that, because I want to make sure the listeners hear that. Even as successful as I am right now, I'm always thinking about the worst case scenario. So that goes back to what you just said about seasons. You know, if we're entrepreneurs and we up high, we got to be thinking about if something happened and we go low, you know? So that is a part of the season as well. We don't know when the bag gonna come or when the logo comes. So when we up high, we got to be preparing and saving our money and making proper investments. So if a bad season or something do come, we want to be prepared for it. So I'm so glad you just said that, because that's something that we're actually talking about right now in my community.
But Candace, let's even explore that. And I want you to let everybody know where they can find you on social media. But for the aspiring entrepreneurs out there, and for the individuals that, you know what, speak to the individuals that feel as if I don't want to work for anybody at all. It's the devil to work for somebody. Speak to them about what that looks like, though. How do you prepare for the worst case scenario?
So I at this season, I strongly believe that working for somebody is not for me. Okay, it's not for me, but it could definitely be for you. And one of my mentors, his name is David Shands. He has a Bum podcast as well. But one thing he says, sometimes you need to go work for somebody so you can become a better boss. He said, you need to go work for people so you can become a better boss. So before I got my own spa, I worked for a big franchise, and I became one of the top 10 therapists before I quit. And that prepared me to be a better boss. So things like that, preparing. Everybody should follow the hashtag debt-free community on Instagram, DEBT free community. That changed my life. That will help get everybody prepared to be an entrepreneur, budgeting. Tonight, my community, we are learning from this book. This is my favorite billionaire. It's called Shut Up and Listen. His name is Tim Ferretta. And he's talking about in this book about how, if you're an entrepreneur, you need to have working capital. Like, it's the gap in your good months and your low months, having that working capital. So those are ways you can prepare, getting you a mentor, getting you a coach. Like me, I tell everybody I got more books than I got shoes. So I've never met Tim in a day in my life, and he don't even know how much he's impacted my life. So things like that keep me prepared. These books and going to events. I just met this amazing man. I was like, oh yes. Things like this is what keep us prepared. But the most important thing is making sure we know our numbers. And oftentimes, I don't know if all your readers are African American, but I know oftentimes African Americans, we wear our money, and that's what a lot of people just mess up at. And so that when you wearing all your money and then something happen, you don't want all the money, or you didn't. Oh, I know for me, I eat all my money. I eat a lot of my money.
Yeah, let's look. We can't talk. I don't even want to go there, honey, because I'm so mad. Y'all know I gotta go off on the tangent. I'm a real country girl. I'm from Virginia, so everybody down here in Georgia think that that's north. No, we are central. But honey, I'm so mad. I couldn't find no chitlins nowhere.
Not in Georgia.
No, in Virginia. When I went back to Virginia, I could not find them anywhere. And the closest place I could find them were like 45 minutes away. And my mom was like, no, I ain't no need of driving that far. It just, when you were talking about money, and I thought about how much they have gone up. Because I remember being a kid, you could get a bucket of chitlins for $4.99. And I want you listeners and viewers to follow where I'm going with this. When I was a child, a bucket of chitlins were $4.99. Now some of the buckets of chitlins are $12.99. Now, anybody out there that know how Black people start eating chitlins, and if you think about the fact that they used to be $4.99 and now they are $12.99, I want you to be creative and think about why the prices inflated so much. Because until you truly start to use practical application, when we talk about being an entrepreneur, when we talk about preparing for the worst, you will never really understand what's going on. And thank you, Candace, for saying working for somebody else may not be for you, but somebody else may need to work for somebody else. Everybody is not going to be an entrepreneur. Right. Everybody is not a leader.
Right.
And I'll be the first to say, what I learned was I am a great manager of projects. I do not like to manage people because I'm liable to hurt your feelings and not even really mean to hurt your feelings. So let me manage projects, because projects ain't got no doggone feelings.
Right. And you know what? That goes to another lesson. That means you know your strengths. If we're preparing to be these amazing entrepreneurs, we need to know what our strengths are and focus on that. And whatever our weaknesses are, we're going to either master that or hire somebody to do that. So a lot of people, they know that's not their strength, but they still try to do it. So that's another good lesson for everybody. Like, you're focusing on your strength, and it's a plus. You got to focus on your strength.
To thine own self be true.
Yes.
Because you can't fool nobody.
Right. If
you fooling yourself, that's another situation.
That's really what people fooling. If we get to the nitty-gritty, people fooling themselves.
Yes. Oh, girl, Absolutely. You know what, Candace? See, you and Dwan came on here and then put me in this place where it's like, all right, we need this whole three-way conversation like we back in the day
Right.
about these things. Because, guys, what you fail to realize is, and I hope you picked up on this tonight, even as a creative, even as an innovator and a visionary such as Miss Candace here, we all have our defining principles that are not always favorable to other people.
Right.
But when you learn who you are, you can withstand any test.
Yes.
So tonight, my charge to all of you is to look deep down inside, even the things that you don't think anybody else know about. There's someone that knows. And that someone is the only one that can help you pull apart those things and twirl them back together to make something strong. That's it. So, Miss Candace, let everybody know where they can find you on social media and any shout outs you want to give.
Yes, you guys can connect with me. All social media platforms is Six Figure Spot Chick. There's Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. My biggest house is Instagram. That's the mansion. The mansion is on Instagram. You guys can connect with me there. I'm the queen of DMs. I made $1 million just from DMs. So I answer all of my DMs. I try to answer them quick as possible. Like, you know how entrepreneurs be like, I don't work for nobody. I work for myself. I work for my DMs, okay? So I try to answer those DMs quickly as possible. Six Figure Spot Chick, you guys can connect with me there. Also, if you guys catch this show, I have multiple free classes available for you guys. If you go to Instagram and go to my IGTV, I have a series called Millionaire Night School. It's over 7 hours of free entrepreneur, 7-figure business strategy. If you are an entrepreneur, it's called Millionaire Night School. That's on my IGTV. And then if you connect with me over on YouTube, I have a real bomb, amazing business credit class that's absolutely free over on YouTube as well. It's under Six Figure Spot Chick, so that's free for any of your listeners. And if anybody watches this and you got questions about Airbnb, I'm a super host on Airbnb since 2018. I have a very successful 18-wheeler trucking company with my husband. And then just in case you guys did not know, I am the #1 spa queen in the country. Six Figure Spot Chick. I host the only Black Spa Expo and the only Black Spa Awards in the world. So if you have a question about maybe trucking, Airbnb, or your spa beauty business, you can text. I have a amazing customer service number. We just answer questions all day. And that phone number is 901-519-2880. You can text me if you have a question about any of those things that I just stated above. And if I don't answer, somebody from my customer service team will text you back and reply to your question. And of course, you can DM me as well on Instagram at Six Figure Spot Chick. So I am here to serve. I am a humble servant. And serving just really, that's another strategy that I use to get to the top. Like, I just serve so much. And it just blessed my business and my life tremendously, just from me serving. So we still do a lot of serving. We're just in a digital space now. So you guys can definitely connect with me on any of those platforms. But Instagram or the customer service number will be the two fastest where I will respond.
You know what? Drop the mic. The mic is dropped tonight. Miss Candace, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Shout out to Miss Frances Purdue for being a sponsor of tonight's episode. Thank you to you once again. Thank you, Mr. Ford. You guys have truly blessed this platform tonight. Guys, it's your girl, Lily Mae. And remember, it's consulting time. We are all about purpose over popularity. And I'm always here to bring you the best creatives, innovators, and visionaries. And we bring nothing but joy, jewels, and justice. Have a great night, ladies and gentlemen.